From Wish TV and the All Indiana Podcast Network, this is the News 8 Daily 8 Podcast, a Wish TV News 8 update.
Hi, this is Hannah Mordo, and this is your News 8 Daily for Friday, May 29th. It is going to be another stellar, perfect, beautiful day ahead. It's going to be partly cloudy out there, but expect to see some sunshine too. No rain ahead. Highs are going to be in the upper 70s. Those humidity levels are going to stay low. And really, it's going to be beautiful through the weekend. Saturday, Sunday, looking really nice as well. Like I said, no rain for the next few days.
Central Indiana. Wish TV is now live on YouTube TV and Hulu Live, offering more hours of local programming than any other station. Search for Wish TV or look for CW8 on both YouTube TV and Hulu Live to find us. Watch local news, sports, and lifestyle shows live from Wish TV. You can still catch Wish TV free over the air or stream it live on wishtv.com and on the free Wish TV mobile apps. Wish TV, available in more places for the latest news, weather, and sports.
IMPD says a murder suspect is in custody after a chase in a police shooting on the city's west side. Officers say the suspect was shot and is stable. Police say it started when they were called to North Rural Street at around 3:30 yesterday afternoon. Officers found a woman shot. She later died at a hospital. Police say a community tip helped them track down the suspect riding in a car with someone else. IMPD arrested that driver, then the suspect took off in the car and a chase started. Officers eventually stopped the car with a pit maneuver on South Harding Street near I-70 and shot at the suspect. No officers were hurt. More police will be patrolling near the Indiana Convention Center downtown today after a shooting in a parking garage left one man in critical condition. Police say the shooting happened at the Park Plaza garage near the Convention Center at around 6 last night. Officers say someone flagged them down on the street to say they heard the gunfire. Police found a man inside the garage with a gunshot wound. Officers say one person is in custody. IMPD says the garage will be cleared in time for today's events at the Convention Center, which include a Pokemon Championship Series and Indie Chess. IMPD also says a young person and a man were shot at a home in the Martindale-Brightwood neighborhood. It happened at the Martindale Apartments on Baltimore Terrace at around 5:20 yesterday evening. Police say they were both taken to the hospital in stable but serious condition. Officers do not have any information on a possible suspect. Fishers police arrested one man and a teenager after an armed carjacking outside an IHOP near 96th Street and I-69. Police say 18-year-old Khalil Glover and a 17-year-old stole someone's car at gunpoint. Officers used surveillance video to track down the stolen car to an apartment complex in Indianapolis. Police also recovered the gun used in the robbery. They say Glover later admitted to the crime. Both suspects now face several charges, including armed robbery. IMPD expects to see more unsupervised young people during summer break, and city leaders are worried that could lead to more violence. It's an issue we're shining a light on through our Youth Alternatives to Violence and Crime initiative called YAVAC. News 8's Malia Van Ostren has more.
IMPD wants to remind parents and the community to know where your child is and to have discussions with your children about finding safe activities to do.
There's nothing more earth-shattering than seeing a father break down on a scene because a juvenile has lost its life, and they ask the same questions. What could I have done? This is a proactive attempt to get our parents primed each and every night to say, hey, where are you going? Who are you with? I'm gonna call and check on you. There's technology out there with GPS where you can figure out where they're going.
According to IMPD, there are 23 non-fatal teen shooting victims so far this year. There are 5 teen homicides.
Yeah, it's gonna keep going on. I ain't seen nothing yet.
Ernest Williams and other community members say it all starts at home with the parents and hope more is done to keep the teens out of trouble. A 120-day curfew is in place for teens. Children 14 and under are to be home between 9 p.m. and 5 a.m. Children ages 15 and 16 have a 9 p.m. curfew Sunday through Thursday and a curfew of 11 p.m. on the weekends. 17-year-olds may not be in public between 11 p.m. and 5 a.m. Sunday through Thursday and 1 a.m. on weekends. For some, just having a curfew and telling parents to be more watchful over their teens isn't enough.
We know what leads people to desperation, what leads them to crime, what leads them to violence. It's this created disparity.
Duval says there are other alternatives to violence that would require more people in the community and local government to step up. He suggests more funding for food programs and medical care in underserved communities.
Get with people in your neighborhood, get with like-minded people, meet with your neighbor who needs help, give them a ride to the doctor, help feed your neighbors. help educate your neighbors.
IMPD says there are plenty of local organizations that have supervised activities for kids aimed at keeping them off the streets. Woolley hopes parents and children can find activities that will work for them.
It is so imperative that we have our kids home safe at night.
In Indianapolis, I'm Aaliyah Van Ostrand for Wish TV and WishTV.com.
A local group of clergy wants to stop any local incentives for the $500 million MetroBlocks data center planned in the Martindale-Brightwood neighborhood. iTeam's Tim Spears reports that the religious leaders say those incentives could impact how much money is invested into the community.
Do not dismiss us. Do not ignore us. Do not disrespect us.
About 24 members of the Black Church Coalition gather outside Galilee Missionary Baptist Church, saying they've called for a meeting with Mayor Joe Hogsett 3 times to discuss the MetroBlocks data center and been denied all 3 times.
Eliminating access to your office will eliminate your access to our congregations during campaign season.
The group wants public incentives withheld from the project.
Mayor Joe Hogg said, you have come to our barbecues. You have done the Cupid shuffle with us. You've even hit the boots on the ground. But when we call you to stand with our community, to stand with our neighbors, we don't get a call back on the phone.
MetroBlocks says it's ready to revitalize the long vacant Sherman Drive property and invest millions in the Martindale-Brightwood neighborhood. Councilmember Ron Gibson, who supported the project, told me he's in negotiations on the tax abatements for MetroBlocks. The company has said its $2.5 million commitment to invest in affordable housing and infrastructure could increase to $20 million based on those abatements.
$20 million will break down to little for this community. What's important is where are jobs? What opportunities are made available for food places that we can come out of a desert that we're in?
No data center. No data center.
Councilor Gibson said despite this push to stop the project, the data center is a done deal. Coalition members say if they can't convince MetroBlocks to abandon the development, they plan to abandon the mayor or any public official who've supported it.
All we're asking is give us the opportunity to share the thoughts. Give us an opportunity to hear what we have to say. Don't dismiss us.
A city spokesperson declined to comment on this story, citing pending litigation. A group of Martindale-Brightwood residents, along with the Hoosier Environmental Council, have called for a judicial review of the rezoning for the MetroBlocks property. In Indianapolis, Tim Spears, iTeam.
Now to the war in Iran. Negotiators from the U.S. and Iran have reached a tentative agreement to extend the ceasefire by 60 days and to begin talks on Iran's nuclear program. President Trump has not approved the deal, and Iran has not confirmed any deal yet. The agreement would lift restrictions on the Strait of Hormuz, including vessels getting unrestricted navigation, and it would lift the U.S. blockade on Iranian ports. The announcement comes, though, as both sides accuse each other of violating the ceasefire amid the exchange of strikes across the region. U.S. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent says his team has prepared a design for a $250 bill featuring President Trump. Bessent says there is a bill stalled in Congress to put the president on the bill. The legislation would change it so a living person could be put on currency, which current law does not allow. Bessent says he created the design because he anticipates the bill will pass through Congress. The $250 bill would mark the 250th anniversary of the nation's founding. Officials with the Blue Origin are working to find out what caused a massive explosion to one of their rockets during testing. You can see the video right now at wishtv.com, but it shows just a fiery end in Florida last night. Blue Origin founder Jeff Bezos says no one was hurt in the explosion. The rocket was set to launch, though, next week with internet satellites that are part of the Amazon Leo constellation in orbit. The rocket was grounded back in April, though, after it left a satellite in the wrong orbit due to an engine failure. Indiana Congressman Jefferson Shreve says he has secured federal money for police and firefighters in our area. Shreve says the grants will give IMPD more than $1.5 million for new bulletproof vests and helmets. Shelbyville Police would get $620,000 for new radios. The Green Township Volunteer Fire Department would get $500,000 for a new fire truck, and the Bartholomew County Sheriff's Office would get $120,000 for a new mobile command center and fentanyl identification technology. Full House and Senate, though, still need to approve those grants. The Indiana National Guard now has enough funding to replace its helicopter hangar in Shelbyville. News 8's government reporter Garrett Berquist shows us why the current facility is not good enough.
The hangar here in Shelbyville dates to the early 1970s. It was never designed to meet the maintenance needs of Black Hawk helicopters like this one.
I would take that off and take these off.
These soldiers tear down a Black Hawk's engines and rotors every 960 hours. This is a much larger and more complex aircraft than the Army had when the Guard first built this facility.
We have needed to expand this since I walked through the door in 1996. This facility we're standing in was actually designed to maintain old UH-1 Vietnam-era aircraft, not to maintain the aircraft we're even flying today.
Munich says the Guard needs new maintenance shops for components such as avionics or engines. Congressman Jefferson Shreve says he has secured $27.5 million in federal funding for a new 87,000 square foot facility. That will cover roughly half of the price tag. He says the money is part of a military construction bill that has already passed the House.
The Indiana National Guard protects every corner of our state. They respond when disaster strikes. I've seen it firsthand. They support emergency operations close to home and quite far away.
The Guard has had to keep some of its helicopters in these temporary aircraft shelters for the past 20 years. A storm damaged this one last month. Guard leaders told me the new facility would allow them to retire some of the shelters. They say the new facility most likely will go on this empty field at the east end of the tarmac.
The ability to upgrade that to a new facility with proper back shops, proper maintenance flow, increases our ability to maintain our aircraft. It will increase our aircraft readiness and allow us to be better prepared when the state or the nation calls us.
The bill still has to go through the Senate. Shreve says he's confident the Senate will leave the funding in place. In Shelbyville, I'm Garrett Bergquist for Wish TV and WishTV.com.
There is an attorney shortage here in Indiana, but a potential solution is gaining traction. iTeam's Kara Kenny shows us the new online effort to address the issue.
More than half of Indiana counties are considered a legal desert. That's these counties here in blue. As you can see, it's hitting rural areas especially hard. But tonight, we're digging into a solution that's gaining a lot of traction. Stephen May lives in Michigan City. For years, he juggled his security job, being a husband, a dad, and online law school.
If it wasn't for that kind of environment of being able to attend online, I don't know if this would have been a possibility for me.
Indiana is down to only 3 brick-and-mortar law schools: IU McKinney, IU Mauer, and Notre Dame.
Valpo University was the closest law school to me, but they had just closed down their program and everything. So, there was really nothing around me, nothing available.
Stephen attended Purdue Global, a fully online law school. He graduated, passed the Indiana bar exam, and on May 12th, he joined dozens of new Indiana attorneys at a swearing-in ceremony. Stephen is now working for a private law firm in Crown Point that handles criminal and civil work.
Now that you're a lawyer, here's your new responsibilities. I got my first couple of clients handed to me.
A new waiver system in Indiana is opening the door for online law schools. The waiver allows graduates of non-American Bar Association approved law schools like Purdue Global to sit for the Indiana bar exam. Since the new rule took effect in July 2024, 11 Purdue Global grads have been sworn in as Indiana lawyers.
Our grads had an overall pass rate of 75%. Which compared to a statewide pass rate of 46%.
Purdue Global's dean says nearly half of their students in Indiana live in rural areas, communities hardest hit by the lawyer shortage.
So it's not just about getting more lawyers into Indiana, but it's about getting more lawyers in the places that have shortages. And that's something that we as an online law school are helping to address. We are in a day and age where most of the things a lawyer does can be done online. So it shouldn't be surprising that you can train to become a lawyer online.
Purdue Global costs $53,000 for the entire program. Stephen May says it means he's entering the workforce with less debt than if he had attended a traditional law school.
Be impossible for me to pay it off before I'm 60, so that's nice.
Critics of online law schools say students miss out on face-to-face networking, and because they're not accredited by the American Bar Association, graduates may be prohibited from taking the bar in certain states. Brick-and-mortar law schools like IU McKinney are now offering hybrid classes that allow their students to take classes online. Another solution in the works is a program that will help attorneys open practices in rural areas. Kara Kenny, iTeam.
The Indiana Fever want to rebound tomorrow in their West Coast road trip. The team came up just 2 points short of winning back-to-back games against the Golden State Valkyries. Fever had a chance to tie the game with less than a second to go, but Aaliyah Boston's shot was off the mark. Valkyries take the win 90-88, despite playing through a back injury. Caitlin Clark led the team with 16 points. Fever's next game is tomorrow on the road against the Portland Fire. Tip-off is set for 8 p.m. The NBA's Board of Governors says it has approved new rules for its draft lottery that says it will prevent teams from losing games to improve their draft odds. The league calls it the 3-2-1 system. Under the system, the 3 teams with the worst record will not have the best odds at the top pick. Instead, the teams with the 4th through 10th worst records will have all of the best odds for a top pick. The league says that this will eliminate incentives for teams to prioritize draft position over winning. A local 8th grader is heading to New York City to represent the Pacers and the Fever. Adalia Tamsankwa will compete in the 2026 NBA Math Hoops Global Championship next month. Organizers say the Huntington student is a standout this season in the STEM-based basketball learning program for both academics and sportsmanship. Championship brings students from across the country for a multi-day experience focused on STEM learning and more. The championship is from June 22nd to the 25th. This has been your News 8 Daily from Wish TV. I'm Hannah Mordeau. Watch us on Wish TV and wishtv.com.
This is the News 8 Daily 8 podcast, a Wish TV News 8 update on demand. For even more, on demand and on the go, connect with Wish TV on Facebook at wishtv.com and on the free Wish TV mobile app. Thank you for listening, and be sure to like, subscribe, and follow this podcast for updates every weekday morning on the All Indiana Podcast Network and wherever you get your podcast.